Hello, good evening, and thanks for joining me on Business Tonight. Now, volume of GOIL shares traded on the stock exchange shot up considerably at the close of trade on Tuesday, despite a leadership change controversy. The presidency has meanwhile formally responded to the development at the oil marketing firm GOIL. A statement signed by Acting Director of Communications Eugene Ahin rubbished recent reports the president has appointed a new MD for the firm. Head of research at Databank Alex Boahin explored the impact of a possible change of leadership at GOIL on its performance on the stock market.
When you have news like this trending in the media, I mean, it doesn't augur well for a company that is listed because of its dreadful impact that it can have on the share price. But thankfully, the share price has remained resilient over the past week since this news broke out. The investor community has actually not, or has been insensitive to this news. In fact, to be precise, the share price actually gained yesterday, and today too it has gained additional peswa. So what does this signify to us as market participants? I mean, everyone knows. I mean, a lot of investors are actually confident about the company going forward. I mean, investors are confident about the company's earning power. I mean, quite recently we have observed a strong profitability coming from GOIL. The company continues to expand their business scope, and I think that is what investors are actually looking at. So this development, though negative, but I can say that it hasn't had any adverse impact on the share price.
The National Lottery Authority, NLA, has revealed plans to become the leading lottery authority in Africa in the coming years. The authority, ahead of its 60th anniversary next year, has launched a document titled The Journey So Far, Development Through Gains. It was aimed at demystifying certain perceptions of the lottery business in Ghana. There's more in this report.
Established in 1958, the National Lottery Authority is aimed at improving the fortunes of Ghanaians through entertainment. The launch of the book saw key stakeholders in the Lottery Authority reveal some challenges the authority has faced over the past year. Speaking at the launch, Director General of the NLA, retired Brigadier General Martin K.G. Ahiaglo, revealed that despite some managerial challenges, the authority succeeded in liaising with the public sector to expand its operations.
To my amazement and admiration, I found out that apart from remarkably delivering on its mandate by generating revenue for national development and creating moments of hope and happiness for our cherished patrons over the years, the NLA also had a rich history which had been handed over from one generation of staff to another. To my mind, the best way of preserving this rich heritage was through looking into the past and stringing together the memorable milestones in the history of the authority from its inception to date, and documenting this for posterity. It was this idea that gave birth to the title of the book we are launching today, and whose title, National Lottery Authority, The Journey So Far, is a reflection of how far NLA has come since the first raffle was drawn by Mr. William Brennan in 1958.
Director Joy Business, the NLA is committed to engaging international lottery agencies to become the leading lottery in Africa.
Now moving on, revenue generated at the country's ports increased by almost 30% as at the end of 2016. This has been attributed to the implementation of the National Single Window Project, which commenced in September 2015 to harmonize and facilitate activities at the country's ports. The implementing company, West Blue Consulting, says it wants to contribute significantly to government's revenue targets in the upcoming budget.
During the visit by the Parliamentary Select Committee on Trade recently, Chief Executive Officer of West Blue, Valentina Minta, highlighted some challenges facing efforts by the company to maximize revenue collection at the port and called for further support from the government to deal with the situation. She noted that despite missing revenue target for the year 2016, the company's operations improved in revenue generation by 28.7%.
We also look at revenue as one of the second of the three mandates. And if you could look at revenue, even though if you look at revenue, GRA Customs collected 28.7% improvement compared to the previous year's collection. Now that is quite significant, but I must mention that they did miss their target. But if you look at the revenue collection improvement, that was significant. So we look at building on that. We look at reviewing the targets that will be set very shortly with the budget coming into place, and to see how we can monitor that on a month-to-month to support government to ensure that revenue is effectively collected.
Meanwhile, the Parliamentary Committee on Trade assures the company of its support to enhance revenue generation. Titus Glover is the chairman of the committee.
The committee is very impressed. For the 1 year that they've been in operation, that they've really done well. For example, when you look about their role as the IT consultancy firm, the verification and classification of goods at the port isn't done by them, but they have given the IT infrastructure to enable SEPs to do the work that they are doing. And by so do you realize that revenue generation has really shot up. And I think that that is very key.
The National Single Window Project is a requirement by the World Trade Organization for all member countries as a policy in harmonizing activities at the ports.
Now to the world of technology, and as the world moves from 4G internet connectivity to 5G service, information about all systems would have to be stored in the cloud software. However, this can pose some security issues because hackers could easily break into systems and control them from remote places. To check this, American multinational telecommunications company AT&T is showcasing a security system that protects manufacturing companies' computers from being hacked. Joy Business Samuel Doona is currently in Barcelona, Spain, where the World Mobile Congress 2017 is ongoing. He spoke with sales executive of AT&T, Charlie Baker.
Okay, so here am I again with my selfie stick, and I'm at the AT&T stand, and here they are doing so much in terms of smart cities, smart homes, smart factories, and everything. And all this is about IoT. It's about 5G and about IoT. And as we go to IoT, one of the key things that is very important for people is security. And here at AT&T, we have come up with the technology that is going to ensure some security in production, in manufacturing, and the systems here. So we are here at this time where they are promoting a security kind of system that we can fit into your manufacturing system, and it will secure everything, because all the information is now going through the clouds, and so you need a very good system to protect yourself, as a company. So I'm here with Charlie. Let me check the name. Charlie Baker.
Barker.
Oh, Barker.
Everybody misses the R. It's okay. It's all right.
Charlie Barker. Charlie Barker is here. Okay. Charlie Barker is here. He's going to explain to us what this is all about, because this is security for your manufacturing system.
So this is our robot Claire.
Exactly.
And Claire is demonstrating a typical manufacturing atmosphere where you've got a robot doing a repeatable action, okay? And for years and years, these operate in what's known as an operational technology space. Come down here, this operational technology space doesn't have any sort of operating system on it. So there's no way to add any extra layers of security. And now you've got the OT device that's connecting to the internet, because in today's world, everything wants to be connected. So you can do diagnostics, you can control it remotely, right? But with that becomes challenges, because now it's a potential endpoint that has vulnerability. So what I'm demonstrating here is, here's Claire doing her regular action connections, right?
Yes.
But Claire's connected to the internet, as am I. And I'm on my laptop, and I accidentally click on an email that I shouldn't. Unbeknownst to me, it's got malware.
Sure.
And that malware is specifically designed to attack an IoT device.
Okay.
Now, with our IoT security offering that we have available in North America and will be available globally in Q4 of 2017, we put an extra layer.
All in business for now. Many thanks for your attention. My name is Emmanuel Apuachi. There's more news ahead. Don't worry.